I'm Asia Dang with Scott Wolford inside USC. So, how'd you enjoy the game?
It was a very pleasant game.
It was a spanking, like I said.
You were right on.
I was right on. Not with the points though, but I predicted a spanking. So.
You said 21 points, right?
Yeah, so.
It was nice. Colorado, beautiful stadium setting. There was some snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Good crowd, enthusiasm. They came out and scored a touchdown, so they made the game interesting at the start. And then USC just kind of took over, very explosive offensively. Right. So, you know, kind of went as planned, like we talked about last week, but it was a good win just to have, you know, a good springboard going into these last 3 games of the season.
Right. Well, speaking about the offense and Matt Barkley have been on a roll recently with Matt Barkley, scoring
6 touchdown passes.
School record. So how does this offensive team compare to those of the past years?
You know, from a number standpoint, they're starting to look like some of those big Norm Chow, Pete Carroll teams of the last 10 years. Very explosive, putting up a lot of points. You know, marquee players, Robert Woods, Marquise Lee, and now I think the addition of Curtis McNeil, who I always refer to as the diminutive Curtis McNeil, is giving them some pop in the running game. So I think they compare pretty favorably with some of the teams. I wouldn't put them up there with like the Reggie Bush, Lendale White, Matt Leinart teams, but I think they compare with the other teams. And you know, the next 3 games will be a good test to see how they do. You know, I think Washington, I think they'll do okay, but Oregon is going to be a really interesting game. So I think though they have a lot of potential, and they've done a good job the last few weeks.
Well, speaking of Washington, how badly does Lane Kiffin want to beat Steve Sarkisian?
That's, you know, if there's one game on the schedule that he circles, I know he will never admit this, but it is the Washington game, because he worked with Steve Sarkisian, and I've heard from college coaches that know both of them that in the last 12 months, Steve Sarkisian, you know, has always reminded him, hey, you lost to me last year. And if USC had won, Lane Kiffin would be reminding him.
Right.
So they
talk
friendly
a lot. Banter.
Yes, they talk a lot of trash about this game. So he wants that game more than anything, because he knows he's going to hear about it from Seattle for 12 months if he loses.
Bragging rights.
Yeah, it's a big deal, because you know, they were kind of the guys, the rising stars, maybe a little cocky on the staff of Pete Carroll. And, you know, they've gotten the best head coaching jobs. So I think they both see Pete Carroll as their mentor, and they want to kind of show him too also, hey, I beat that guy. So it's a huge game for both of them for personal reasons. And the thing is, they'll never admit it, but that's the truth.
But yet you know somehow.
It's my job to know what they really think, because, you know, Lane Kiffin will never know. You know, I had a reader this week write me and say, Lane Kiffin is the kind of guy who can brighten up a room by leaving it. So, you know, that's the public persona of Lane Kiffin. So, he would not tell us, you know, I want to beat Steve Sarkisian more than anything, but trust me, that is the case.
Okay, sure, we'll trust you.
Thank you.
Speaking of Sarkisian, he said that he would choose Matt Barkley over Andrew Luck. Why did he say that? Do you believe that?
I don't know why he said that, and I do not believe it. So that's to give you the short answer. But I think he said that because he's trying to pump up Matt Barkley and make it sound like Washington's got a really tough opponent. And, you know, he got killed by Andrew Luck when they played Stanford. And so, but he's got to pump up Matt Barkley, make it sound like he's the most formidable guy. And I think he also said it because he recruited Matt Barkley to USC, and he likes him. He has a close relationship with him. So I think he wanted to give him a little nugget, you know, and some props. Lane Kiffin dismissed it today, you know, and so if he hadn't played Andrew Luck yet, he wouldn't be saying that, but he already faced him, so he doesn't have to worry about offending Andrew Luck. So, you know, Lane Kiffin tried to dismiss it, but I think Steve Sarkisian is doing a little psychological warfare right there.
Do you think it's going to work?
No, I mean, I don't think when the game starts, players care about what somebody said. They don't really worry about that. This instance, where Nick Holt, the defensive coordinator, made some comments.
Which was going to be my next question, but okay, continue. The comments about how they would rather play USC over Oregon.
Yes.
Okay, continue. Go.
We're on the same wavelength.
We're on the
here.
same wavelength.
Great minds think alike,
That's
right?
right.
But Nick Holt's comments about how he'd rather face USC's offense than Oregon's, you know, they posted those. Somebody did at Heritage Hall, and I think they're trying to use that as motivation. But really, when the game starts, I don't think guys think about that. I mean, you get hit, and you're worrying about that, or you're worrying about your assignments. So, you know, it's nice during the week to kind of get you pumped up to go to practice when you're tired. And this time of year, guys are in the dog days of the season.
Yeah.
But I don't think at the Coliseum it makes any difference. And honestly, I think what Nick Holt meant was, I don't want to face Oregon's spread offense, because Pete Carroll, when he was here, used to always complain he hated facing spread offenses. So he's going to face a pro-style offense from USC, and that's easier in terms of the preparation, and the players can handle that easier. So I think I understood what Nick Holt meant, but when you get a quote and print it, sometimes it looks funny. Kind of like when you probably get text messages sometimes, and you wonder what the context is. You know, don't quite understand the
Technology
tone.
these days.
Yes. So there's always like a double meaning with stuff. But I think it's okay, though. I don't think it's a big deal.
How has the team been preparing for this Washington game?
Well, they're trying to get healthy. That's the main thing. Mark Tyler got cleared, and he'd been out. So I think that's a good addition, because I think McNeil will start, but Tyler is available. George Farmer is a game-time decision. He's got a sprained ankle. So they're going to be a little healthier at tailback. I think it's exciting that Amir Carlisle had a big game last week, and DJ Morgan bounced back. Well, he bounced back by getting the chance to play, because he'd been in the doghouse for so long. So it's exciting that two guys that are freshmen got to play and contribute, and now I think they're ready to play the last 2 or 3 games too.
All right, well, who do you think is going to win?
Well,
homecoming game at the Coliseum.
Oh, I'm sure you have goosebumps. It's homecoming because you're such a Trojan. We all know what a big...
Hey, I'm wearing kind of my, like, gold yellow.
Yeah, and brown.
Well,
that's
complimentary colors.
Not quite USC. It's like 50% USC.
I'm halfway there.
You're like a halfway USC fan, though,
I'm halfway
so
there.
it's appropriate. Well, I always defer to the lady when we make our predictions, right?
You can go first, though. Because I went first last time.
Okay. I am going to say that USC will win. I feel pretty confident that they're going to win this game. Washington has really not performed well in big games this year. Nebraska, Oregon, Stanford. And I think this is another opponent similar to those. So I think their defense is vulnerable. So I see USC coming out scoring a lot of points, having a big day. And if the defense can just contain Keith Price, you know, I can see USC winning by a couple touchdowns at least. So over to you, as they say. What's your prediction?
I also believe that they are going to win. You said a couple touchdowns, 21.
You're going to pick a blowout, okay. 21 points.
I don't know. It works for me. It worked well for me last week, so I think we'll just go with that.
Yes, it did. So we're both kind of on the same page on this prediction.
Yeah.
I think, I just feel like this game, it's coming at a good time for USC. If they had played Washington, I think the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season, I think would have been one of those nail biters like they had, but they might have lost because Washington, I think, is better than the teams they played the first couple weeks of the season. So it's good now. I think the team's gotten better. I think that's one impressive aspect of the team. They've gotten better as the year's gone on. So I think right now they could be hitting their stride, and you know, we'll see. Obviously, Oregon, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that's the big test. We'll see how good they really are. But right now, they do seem to be going in the right direction, at least as far as that's concerned. Now, I have something to say, believe it or not.
I'm sure you do.
Yes. I promised the viewers last week that we were going to have something to discuss, and it was a surprise.
Yes.
So, here we go. I understand... I have no knowledge of this, of course. I've heard this from sources.
Sure.
That you are a Maxim bikini model, and that you are in a contest right now to become like, is it Is it the Maxim Hottie? Is that the exact title? I want to make sure I'm not inaccurate here.
It is the Maxim Hometown Hotties contest. So your sources were right sources.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've gone through over 1,000 to 100, and now thanks to your votes, top 10 Hometown Hottie finalists. Voting started yesterday actually for the winner, which is awesome. So you can either go to hometownhotties.com or maxim.com and get there through a couple clicks. And vote for me every day until December. Or you can follow me on Twitter at Asia Dang, and I'll keep you updated with voting, new pictures, new videos, and I actually have a spread in the December issue of Maxim coming out soon, so follow me on Twitter and I'll let you know.
So you actually went from like thousands, you made the top 10. That's pretty impressive. I mean,
I know.
You must have been pretty elated when you heard that.
I was so excited to hear that I made the top 10. It was awesome. I've actually been meaning to apply to this for years now, and to get as far as I have, it's great. So let's make my dreams come true and let's win this thing.
And had you done like modeling of this nature before, or was it kind of a first time thing?
No, I've done swimsuit calendars and such. So, but definitely nothing on Maxim scale, which is a big deal. So vote for me.
So how does that feel to be called a hometown hottie? What does that evoke in your mind when you hear that?
Evoke? I don't know. That you guys love me. I don't know.
Great.
No, it's really flattering. It's very, very flattering, definitely.
And do you get nervous when you do the photo shoots?
No. I get more nervous talking to you.
Well, you should be more nervous talking to me.
No.
Next week I'm going to be really tough on you now that I know you're nervous.
Great. No, I think it's like the players. You're nervous when you think about it, but once you're in front of the camera or once you're out on the field, it's, you're just in your element.
Doing your job.
Doing your job, exactly, yeah.
Okay, so everyone make sure you vote for Asia Dang, hometownhotties.com, or go to maxim.com. And why don't you take us away?
All right. That was seamless. Yes. I'm Asia Dang, Scott Wolf for USC Report. Check out the game Saturday, 12:45 at the Coliseum, or you can check it out on FX, I believe.
Yes.
Great. Vote for me.